Can you imagine a world without cameras? It's like envisioning life without sight. From the early bulky boxes to the tiny modules in your smartphones, cameras have undergone a remarkable evolution. Throughout this journey, they've captured some of the most pivotal moments in the history. From the moon landing to the fall of the Berlin Wall, from the deadly devastations of Hiroshima and Nagasaki to the birth of a single organic cell. But would you be surprised to learn that this intricate device that captures our daily lives was first envisioned in the 10th century by a Muslim scientist named Hassan Ibn al Haytam? In this video, we trace the fascinating development of his incredible invention, camera obscura, and discover how it laid the groundwork for the sophisticated cameras that we rely on today. Cameras function because of light, and to understand our modern understanding of light, we must journey back several centuries to the time when ancient theories were proposed by the greatest mind of their time. Greek scholars like Ptolemy and Euclid championed the emission theory, positing that humans emit invisible rays of light that strike the object, enabling us to see. On the other hand, Aristotle introduced the intromission theory, and he proposed that light travels from the object to us, with the space between becoming illuminated, enabling immediate sight. This gets even better as the notable figures like Galen and Plato merged these ideas, suggesting that light emitted from human eyes reflect back from the object, enabling us to see. Yet, amidst these conflicting theories stood a revolutionary scientist who decided to go against the consensus. He boldly refuted emission theory, intromission theory, and the amalgamation of both the theories. His audacity to declare Euclid, Ptolemy, Aristotle, Galen wrong was nothing short of remarkable. This courageous man once asserted, if learning the truth is a scientist's goal, then he must make himself enemies of all that he reads. His skepticism and dedication to understanding the truth laid the groundwork of the modern era of vision and optics. Before we move forward, I want to ask you a quick question. Are you looking to form a connection with Allah? If yes, then you know the best way to do so is Quran. There are so many of us who dream of writing Quran one day. What if I were to tell you that you can start writing Quran within minutes? How, you ask? This is where our Tracing Quran ebook comes in. What is Complete Quran ebook? This is an ebook with grayed out ayah which you can write on using pencils and pen whenever you want. This ebook is based on Uthmani Quran, which means it is 100% authentic. You or your children or your sisters or anyone in your family or friends can write Quran the moment you order it. Because this is an ebook, it comes with 100% flexibility of printing whenever you want, however you want, how many ever times you want. Let's say you want to write Surah Yasin 5 times. That is possible with our Tracing Quran ebook. Just get 5 prints and start writing. No restrictions. And because this is an ebook, you can get it downloaded within minutes of ordering. Begin your journey today and start earning rewards for every letter you write. You can order the ebook from the first link in the description. Now let's get back to the video. Our story unfolds in the 10th century as Ibn al Haytam, known as an engineering expert, receives an intriguing letter from the Caliph of Egypt, Ibn Hakim bi Amrillah. The Caliph tasks him with building a dam on Nile that was constantly flooding, a challenge he readily accepted because he had written treatises on building dams. Upon his arrival in Egypt, however, he quickly realized that the project's complexity exceeded his initial expectations. Now, faced with looming threat of failure and the Caliph's wrath, he did something extraordinary. He feigned madness. Historical accounts differ, but many of the accounts state that his act of madness was convincing enough that the Caliph committed him to a mental asylum. Although there are other records that state he was placed under house arrest or in jail. And it was in this period of confinement, whether in jail or in house arrest, that Ibn al Haytam made groundbreaking observations that would challenge the centuries-old perception about vision. Now, he conducted an experiment using a room and the only source of light as a pinhole. By observing how light interacted with that object in the otherwise dark room, He noticed that the object was only visible when it was lit up by the pinhole and not when the pinhole was covered. This simple yet effective experiment proved that light is not emanated from a human eye. If that were the case, the box should be visible even in a dark room. So he concluded there has to be some other source of light that illuminates the world around us. What is the source of light? This insight was pivotal not just in the field of optics but in the scientific method itself, because this illustrated the power of observation and experimenting in uncovering truth. Now, Ibn al Haytam was invigorated by this newfound freedom and went on a spree of conducting rigorous experiments, one of the most notable being his work with camera obscura. In this experiment, he created a dark chamber sealed on 3 sides and covered with a cloth on the 4th side, with a pinhole on the side opposite to the cloth. To his amazement, he observed a reflection of an external object on the cloth, but the image appeared upside down. This experiment not only proved that light travels in a straight line, but also asked a pivotal question: why does the image appear upside down? The explanation is surprisingly straightforward and grounded in 2 principles. First, pinhole as a light filter. Second, straight line propagation. Let's look at both of them. The pinhole acts as a filter, allowing only a small beam of light to pass through the pinhole, blocking off everything else. The key factor here being restriction of light, because light travels in a straight line. Similarly, when light rays from the top of the object pass through the pinhole, they continue in the straight line, hitting the cloth at the bottom. Similarly, the light from the bottom of the object, when travel through the pinhole, hit the cloth at the top. Now, merging these 2 concepts, it is clear why the image appears inverted. This simple yet profound experiment with camera obscura not only demonstrated the fundamental properties of light, but also laid the groundwork for the development of one of the most inventive objects in human history: camera. This device, evolving from the initial observations of Ibn al Haytam, has become an indispensable tool in capturing our visual history. Ibn al Haytam made comprehensive contributions in the world of optics through his 7-volume treatise Kitab al-Manazir, translated as Book of Optics, which is often held in esteem alongside Isaac Newton's Principia Mathematica. But what's notable is that Ibn al Haytam wrote his Book of Optics 600 years before Isaac Newton. Among his many discoveries, Ibn al Haytam introduced the world to the concept of optical illusion. He answered centuries-old question of why moon looks so small up in the sky and yet looks huge at the horizon. This insight was just a part of his broader commitment for experimental science. This distinguished him from his contemporaries who predominantly adhered to theoretical approach. His pioneering methods and empirical approach led Ibn al Haytam being celebrated as the first scientist in the world. His work not only transformed the field of optics, but also laid foundational principles for the scientific methods, observation, hypothesis, and conclusion. Through his innovative approach and critical thinking, Ibn al Haytam significantly advanced human thinking, bridging the gap between theoretical science and experimentation. If you liked this video, please like it, share and subscribe, and let me know in comments on what topics you'd like me to make video, especially about the Golden Age of Islam. And do not forget to check out our playlist on Golden Age of Islam. Also, get your copy of our complete Tracing Quran and start earning rewards immediately with every single word you write. It's the first link in the bio. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.